Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 18 of Unplanned with Phil Bland, and I've got Hannah Gair as my star today. And Hannah is a good friend of mine. We've known each other for a long time, but she's at the same time she's doing a lot of stuff on. She's very active on social media, and she's got her own company, Mr. Fox. And I thought she'd be a great person to speak to because we have a good time chatting every time we see one another. So Hannah, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. So how's things going with being in lockdown? How are you feeling? I know it's a strange time for everyone. Are you coping?
I'm coping quite well. Like where I live is in the countryside, so my mum's had me doing every home joinery building job you can imagine.
Yeah, I saw you were out in your Wellingtons.
Yeah, so I've been out, I've learned how to power wash a patio, I painted some post and rail fences. What else have I done for her? Oh, I've been cooking Sunday dinners so it's been like a full crash course of like how to live, really, like cooking, cleaning, like the works. But it's just been a one-sided thing, so I've been bombarded with all the jobs.
Has she been just dishing all the jobs out to you?
She's honestly just been like putting her feet up with like this list of things for me to do. So I'm sorry about how I look. I've not really had time to brush my hair in the past 7 weeks.
What about like, are you finding it weird because we always go out to like restaurants or bars or whatnot? Is it weird not going out? Or
I think so one of the things I've really missed the most is actually eating. It not like eating, just like I'm quite a sociable person, so like just meeting friends on a Friday or a Saturday night, not necessarily like out, but just that social vibe, and definitely dining out. And miss Sunday lunches as well.
I didn't realize how much I liked eating out until all of them shut. And then
it's going to be an absolute treasure now. You're like, oh, dinner. I will never ever cancel on a dinner plan now.
Just for the record, Hannah was thinking about just cancelling on me before this.
That's not true. I've had all those jobs on the weekend. There's no weekends here at Bank End.
I know. Thanks for making
the list of chores.
Thanks for making the time for me.
Honestly, have I still got straw in my hair, or is that?
Oh man. It's gonna be good to get back to like normal life. I love just like hanging out with everybody and going for brunch, and it's just like, how's it going with like just staying at home with your mum? Like, does it feel weird just having to connect with people on
for me
and stuff?
Like, no, not really. I mean, for me, obviously horses and like being here in the country, like it's quite a big part of my life anyway. So for me to be here, and I'm really lucky where I live because I'm not stuck in. I can actually, I mean, you could counteract how lucky I am with that and all the jobs, but it's been good. Like I've had outdoor space and things like that, and the time goes past so quickly when you've got your mum giving you these lists of jobs. So the days and the weeks are flying in, and I'm ready to get back to normal life now. But with I really enjoyed the first two weekends of house party. I got really excited about that. No, obviously that wore off when they told that they were going to scam everyone's accounts. But actually business has been good, so I've been busy during the week with work, and I work it from home or from office space. That's not really any different to me, so for me, like doing that kind of thing, it's okay. It gets a bit tedious when you're working out from home, doing your work from home, and not having a little bit of a change of scenery. So I feel for anyone that's had to commit to lockdown in London or anything like that, where they were only allowed to exercise once a day.
Have you been like you get some people and it's like you just completely stop everything, start drinking too much and just eating all the time, and then some people I've seen like have been so proactive about this period. How have you been?
Are you trying to say that you're struggling to fit me down that lens, Phil? Are you trying to say, do I look like I've been emotionally?
No, you look great.
It's okay, don't worry about it. I've been trying to work on this angle for a few hours.
I know. We did about 10 minutes before the show. But
Let
it's
me just
worked out.
rearrange the furniture in the house.
It's
No, I
worked
didn't
out
actually have time to.
perfectly.
No, fit all my chins in. No, I've not, but I have had to join tonight with a glass of red wine just because.
It's Sunday night.
Just because these when it gets to Sunday for me is a celebration, because on a Monday, you know, I can tell my mum that I've got an online business to get back to.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So, like the horse riding, tell everyone about that, because you did a lot. You got really into
What?
it.
The horse riding? I hope you're referring to the horse riding. When you said that there. Yeah, so I'll get off to this. Don't try and twist this in any way, Phil. Yeah, my mum was really into horses, so I've been brought up with horses, and I think I've got really bad allergies and everything to horses, but I didn't really have any choice. I just got strapped to the horse and made to enjoy it. Other kids went swimming and things.
So wait, are you still allergic?
Yeah, I'm actually. Yeah, this could be to do with why any sinuses could be swollen. I actually I'm allergic to. I've got hay fever, and that strong allergy to horses still didn't manage to get me far away. But yeah, enjoying it. I rode a lot. Obviously as a kid and teenager, did like the British teams and things like that with the eventing, and then wanted to do more show jumping, and I had some nice horses that I lived in England with, and I did that for a few years alongside my modeling, because I was based more down south and with work and everything down there, and that's really good. I'm missing that because of now kind of how the path and everything that I've taken at the moment, it's just not really giving me that time to devote, because with the horses you've really got to commit. It's a full-on job. One of my friends, Olivia Taylor, she is always, every morning, like, if we do go out, I'm like, I've got to get back because I've got to do the horses, and she's like, I hate those horses. So like
you're living a double life.
Yeah, I've got to get back to do the horses. So but yeah, no, I did that, and I think to do it at like a semi-professional level, you've got to be really committed, and you have to really devote your time to it.
And then when did you get into doing, because I know you've been doing a lot of modeling for quite a long time, so when did you kind of start doing that?
I guess when I finished uni I went to uni in Newcastle, and then when I finished, I had an agency down there, and then when I kind of finished uni, I got more into it, and I did it like to earn money while I was still at university. And then when I finished uni, I just decided that I wanted to kind of work in the fashion industry rather than commercial surveying, which is what I studied. My maths was never great.
I can't really see you as a commercial surveyor, to be fair.
I was like honestly one of the only girls on the course, so yeah. It worked in my favor with the boys helping me with my coursework, but I probably should have just gone into that line of work. There wasn't that many girls that did it at the time. It could have been good, but I don't know if there would have been that many correct valuations. I was always a bit off with the numbers. I'd have been selling commercial property either really overpriced or underpriced. Yeah, so I didn't. Obviously, I got a first and everything, but I didn't get a first. I think I had to like fake my honors.
Shut up. Tell us some more about.
No, I didn't really, but invited some family like time to my graduation, and I was on the phone to my friend Mark, who helped me with all my coursework, and was like, "Mark, have I passed? Like, am I going to get a certificate today?"
So then, wait, you were doing you did that, you graduated, and then you went into doing modeling, and
yes, I took a year out, went to lived in Switzerland and trained there like with the horses, and then came back and decided that, oh no, sorry, I went to Switzerland before I went to uni. Sorry, I just totally made that up there. That was when I was really into horses. Then I decided to do the uni, and then I stopped, and then came back. I think I had my first agency. Then I was back in Glasgow, and then I had Manchester agency, then a London agency, and then I moved to Manchester and lived there.
Was Switzerland the first time you'd ever lived away?
Well, I lived away for uni because I was at uni in Newcastle.
Right.
So I lived away, but I know I went to boarding school, so I did well for my last few years. So I boarded at school. So no, I'm quite used to living away.
That's quite funny because I've always lived in Glasgow up until like third year of uni. So then like it was very strange for me. I was just talking to Paul Samaroff, and we went to school together, and we were just talking about how it's like kind of strange when you move away to a new place. But I think that's probably because I just wasn't used to it.
Yeah, because you lived in New York.
Well, I lived in Sweden for a year.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
During uni, so. But I guess if you just grow up moving all over the place, then you're used to it. Does it feel kind of weird being kind of stuck in Scotland or staying in Scotland for such a long time then?
Yeah, I guess it does feel weird because I'm always on the move, and with work now, it started to be quite a lot of event based as well. So I wasn't back in Scotland very often, or I was, but it was for such a short time, and then I'd be off again. So it does feel weird, and I do get a bit of like you do kind of get like an adrenaline buzz saying, oh well, like you're away again, but then it's also nice. So with traveling a lot with work, it is quite nice to be at home and have that time. But I sometimes get a bit itch on when my mum's like, right, you've got another 5 miles of post and rail to paint. I'm thinking like, when can I get in my car and go to work?
Yeah.
Have they lifted lockdown yet?
But see a lot of people, like, I think it's super impressive, like how, because I've seen you working at some of these events and things, and you like work really hard and you know, doing sales all by yourself and trying to organize all of these
things.
things.
My first event, didn't you?
Yep, I was in the SEC, and I was carrying your mannequin around the SEC for about an hour trying to look for the exit. I was like, how did life come to this? Like, how did I end up carrying Hannah's mannequin around the place? But for some reason, you managed to get me to do it, which was awesome.
You and Usi came to help pack down my shop.
Yeah, that was funny. But like, how did you like start? You were doing modeling at the time. How did you kind of decide that, okay, I'm going to go down this route of setting up an e-commerce business and promoting it online? Like, you've got so many hats that you need to wear. So how did you kind of think about getting started?
Well, I think it was more from modeling, and then also the equestrian side of things, and being at like equestrian shows, there's a lot of pop-up shops, and I think I saw there like a bit of a niche in the market of girls not really knowing, not necessarily, there was a niche there for an opening of a little bit of a more of a modern twist in what to wear at events. And I started out with like an outerwear jacket, because at events there's always a Canada Goose, a Montclair, and I wanted to bring something to the kind of market that you could wear it that wasn't in that price bracket, but it was still glam enough, and you're basically affordable luxury, really. So I was always really into being on trend and having the nice, like, still feeling glam, I guess, and looking good. I'm in, well, sometimes into how I look, and I've just maybe been letting myself go in the lockdown period. But yeah, no, so I feel like I saw an opening there, and that's always so I started out with the outerwear jackets, and I guess from then on the ball just kind of started to roll, and so I designed that, and we manufactured that. Was my first product, and then I started actually having my own shop at equestrian events. So I guess, and there are like people that sell equestrian like clothing and things like that at these events, so it was quite normal there.
And did you just find somebody that was organizing the stalls?
Yeah, I actually paired up with someone. So someone approached me. So I paired up with her, and she had her own shop. So I kind of went in with her, and I had no idea. Like, I thought, whoa. So I did a small batch of how I was manufacturing them, and I did some jackets bespokely made. And yeah, it kind of just rolled from there. I never thought I'd ever have my own. I always wanted to kind of have my own stand and exhibit at events, and yeah, and now I'm at that stage. Well, now at that stage, but now more obviously online. I was online, built my own e-com website because somebody quoted me back in the day. I think it was whatever it was. I was like, I can't afford that, so I built my own, and now I had no idea what I was doing.
We talked about this. So how did that go?
I spent months glued to my laptop. Honestly, I had no idea. I only knew how Word. I could barely do an Excel spreadsheet, and old boys did those at uni.
I just think I find it funny how you would we always have a laugh together, but at the same time I always think it's crazy how much work you must have done to get all of the jackets produced, designed, arranged to do the events, set them up, be there selling the jackets, coerce people that to come and carry mannequins for you.
Carry a mannequin and
setting up building a website. How do you
I think that was sheer determination because I really wanted to do it, and I think as well when I did it, Instagram wasn't as polluted, and there was that area where you could, there was a point where I didn't commit my whole time to it, and I could have really pushed, and there was an area there where Instagram, when it first came out, it was great for obviously your Insta shops, and now obviously it's very popular, and it's much harder because it's very polluted. But there was a time there where I got in quite early, and for me that worked really well.
And so are you going on TikTok? Are you doing more kind of?
I haven't managed to start on TikTok, but I'm on TikTok, but I haven't made any TikToks. I've been now actually really busy with the rebranding. I did initially, we did some fur on the products, and it was sourced sustainably, but is that the right word there? Sorry.
Ethically.
And ethically. I don't know how to say it. Now we're now I'm really trying to focus on sustainability, and really careful with how I'm actually thinking about also manufacturing now locally. So I'm moving everything back to the UK, which is going to be interesting. So I've been really busy trying to sort all of that out and rebranding and everything. So that's been challenging.
So how did you think about building up the brand? Because a lot of people try and build up a business brand on social media, but they don't realize in kind of today's world you need to be the brand, and you've obviously got quite a big following on Instagram. So how did you kind of, was it a big focus for you to constantly be posting and curating the content that you were putting on there and things like that? How did you have the patience to keep going with that and build up a following there?
So was that for my Instagram?
Yeah. Because obviously you're promoting Mr. Fox through that a bit as well.
Yeah, I think I was quite lucky with my Instagram following. It did come quite naturally, I think, with working and just maybe the whole follow of a follower, etc. That's kind of the ball rolls with that. But yeah, I wouldn't still say I'm great on Instagram. I'm definitely trying to be a lot better, and I'm not. I wouldn't say I don't think I massively promote it through my own Instagram. I do. Everyone keeps saying I am the person behind it, but I think I am, but also I don't want to tailor it to myself, so to speak, as well. Do you know what I mean?
Do you ever feel any sort of, a lot of people, when you're heavily involved in social media, it can be kind of people compare themselves in stuff. They're looking at other people and stuff. Do you ever struggle with anything that from a kind of emotional point of view, trying to like not get too wrapped up in the bubble of Instagram and that type of thing?
Well, yeah, I think that's probably where, and for me, I don't try and like sell the dream on Instagram. I feel like this can get quite fake, and I just try and be me really, and not be selling a life that I'm not actually living. And there's a lot of that on Instagram, and I think I'm quite cautious of that. Yeah, I like to have fun and I like to live like a nice life, but I think it's quite to portray that to also like a younger generation, and I'm quite cautious of that. I see my little cousins very hung up on the Instagram, and you can get quite hung up on it. I remember going to my first one of my first castings when Instagram came out, and they're like, oh, how many Instagram followers do you have? And I just remember being like, I don't really want to go down that route. Like, I'm not really, so I do have a following and everything, but I don't think I really push my social media as much as a lot of people.
Yeah. Nice. So what's the plan for Mr. Fox then? You're going to go more sustainable and source different products. Are you going to move from jackets into anything else?
Yeah, so I'm doing like outerwear. I've also done now moved into dresses, and now we're like looking to do quite a lot of it. I don't want to give it all away at once, but yeah, like quite a few things are moving forward. So there's openings for new collections, but definitely more dress and occasion wear, and hopefully sport. And there's more other avenues opening up. So, and hopefully looking to, like, really trying to focus now to moving things back to here, because of, well, I think this, with what's gone on, obviously it's been a huge opener to how important it is to support local businesses, and to really keep everything going at home, not be so dependent if things do go that you've got to, your importations and everything like that.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. Obviously China's, it's been a bit crazy to try and get source products from at the moment, so
yeah, China, just, and even Europe as well, like with, I just think with it being so I'm struggling now, but with it being like, obviously, like, people can giving job opportunity at home, like I can have my swing tags and things like that made here, and it's good if we can keep business in the UK.
Yeah, I think it's always been kind of interesting for me to watch you kind of grow this from the outside. It's been like awesome to watch the journey that you've been on with it all.
Yes, it passed really quickly as well, like looking back.
Yeah, how many years have you been working on it?
I'd say a solid, maybe it will be 5 years now. But 5 years, I think my first year was not, I didn't really push it as much. Like, I kind of was going with it and then stopped off.
But it's funny that it's cool that you went back to it. Like, a lot of people who start something like that and then they feel like they get to a roadblock in the kind of in their way, and then they think, okay, like even with me doing this show, like I don't even know, like it's probably going to take at least 5 years to like build it up so that it's all the episodes are being viewed regularly. And like you have to start something, you have to start small, and a lot of people just think that something needs to happen overnight and that they're gonna have an amazing e-commerce shop that's selling loads and loads of products immediately. But the amount of graft that goes into it and the length of time that it takes to get something like that off the ground actually is just incredible. I
think it's really hard to actually, I think the idea of it's super easy, but like you say, to get the products and then sell it, but what goes into it. And I think definitely over lockdown, what I've been trying to get a handle on things, like I'm quite good at more the event side, event based and social interaction and the customer relationship, building all of that, being a new brand and creating the brand. to interact with your clientele, and the feedback's so important. So that's why I was doing more of the events, because it's so important to interact with my customer, and I can pick up everything that they're feeling about my products. Hopefully when this is over, I'm going to still be able to do that, I think. And that was where I was more confident in that area, whereas online it just seems crazy, because you have to build this website and try and target your audience from behind a screen and a mouse, and that, for me, I'm not super tech based, so I found that really intimidating. And I think I know my market as well, like when I'm out and about, and I'm probably part of the selling point. If I'm wearing it, I can interact, and if people see it on and they like it, then it's a lot easier to sell it, rather than through a meta tag or a hashtag.
I guess the other thing I kind of wanted to talk to you about before we end was, have there been any times during the last 5 years or so that you have thought, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to take another path, like I'm gonna pack it in? Because a lot of people go through those periods.
Yeah, all the time. I think I've had, in the beginning, I had quite a few setbacks and scares, and you just have to, manufacturing issues. And I think I'm not like no one in my family's in this line of work, so I sometimes think, why have I made things so difficult for myself? Why didn't I do something that, like, in horses, or something that I maybe knew, or what I studied? But yeah, I think you've just got to trust your journey, and if you're passionate enough about stuff, it'll come.
So what is it that kept you going?
My stubbornness, probably.
Yeah, well, whatever it takes. But like, I guess, trust the journey, and also be enjoying it at the same time. It's like catch-22. You want to strive to be like happy, and so it's like, am I doing this just because I said that I would do it, or like I don't want to make myself feel like I'm a quitter? Or is it that I'm kind of dedicated to this because I've got this vision in mind about what I'm going to create, and I'm going to get to that no matter what the obstacles? It's kind of a tricky one.
Yeah, no, I sometimes feel like I can't see where I'm going, but I think when you kind of regroup, and weirdly, over a lockdown, sometimes I feel like days are really hard to be creative and like knowing where I'm going, and then other days I've been really productive, and my website has been really busy with the new collections that I've had up. So, and I think just interacting as well, I've been more confident with the interacting with my customers and stuff like that online. I've had that time to almost like a step back and been able to have an understanding of what I'm doing online. So hopefully now, I won't be so scared when problems arise.
Yeah,
definitely I just think it's really hard. Like, you have to just keep, if you're passionate enough about something, then you're obviously going to stick with it.
Well, I think that's a pretty good note to end on.
I can have another glass of wine now.
And honestly, thanks so much for spending the time doing this. Really enjoyed.
Is that the time passed now? I can't believe that.
I know.
I've obviously just chatted the whole way.
No, it was great. Thanks so much for being on. All right.
Thanks for having me.
Speak to you soon.
Bye.